If I said, in an ideal world, under an ideal system, Muslims should be executed, what would that sound like? How would that be perceived? What would happen as a reaction? Would I be allowed to say that? Would I get away with it? What if I said people who convert to Islam should be executed? They deserve to be executed because they are weak and perverted and corrupt. They poison and corrupt our society. They destroy the lives of so many people. It is detrimental to society. We cannot let those people just roam around and have their freedom and let them practice their religion. We cannot allow that. They should be executed. If I said that, would I get away with this? Would this be okay? Would YouTube be okay with it? Would Twitter be okay with it? Would the government of the United Kingdom be fine with that? Would other governments be okay with that? Would this be protected? Would I just go on with my life without any backlash? Of course, I would never say that because I don't think that way. Because I don't advocate for a system, a belief, a philosophy where people should be killed simply for their beliefs. Dawah, however, who is a Muslim apologist and a preacher at Speaker's Corner regularly, and who also has a YouTube channel with over 500,000 subscribers, just said that I deserve to be executed. Just like other apostates, because we are weaklings and we corrupt society, and we shouldn't have a right to freedom, which by his words is BS. Listen to this.
This is a part of our religion. There's a reason to it. Yeah? There's a reason why there's a capital punishment. Because people like you, little weaklings, who leave their religion and cause corruption in the land by spreading it, the capital punishment in Islamic law would be applied to you. We have no doubt. And we're proud of that. Yeah? Capital punish will be applied in an Islamic state. Yeah? Not individuals going and doing it themselves like idiots. Yeah? No. Under an emir, it is done. Yes. And we, you know what? We'll be watching. We'll be watching. Because if you're going to cause corruption in the land, that's going to cause more damage to the society as a whole. Because the Sharia didn't come to protect an individual's right. Hey, can I drink alcohol? Yeah, sure. Drink alcohol, run someone over, kill them, set all this kind of chaos. No, Islam says the right of the community is greater than you individual wanting your right to freedom, which is BS. Absolutely BS, yeah?
So according to him, I should be executed and people like me should be executed because we cause corruption in a society. We damage society, damage other people's lives. What he's referring to is that we cause immorality in society with our disbelief and our commentary on Islam, and that we destroy the afterlives of people, and that we should therefore be stopped and put to death, and our right to freedom is just BS. Which is very ironic because Dawah is here in the West using his right to freedom in order to speak against our freedom, in order to speak against the system which gives him this freedom to speak. You are an enemy of the very same system and the people that allow you to be here and to do what you are doing and to speak about your religion. Yet you are coming here with a speech about punishing people for individual freedoms because their individual rights don't matter, society matters, and you are advocating for capital punishment, for simple beliefs, for life choices. Your system, your ideas are detrimental to society. They are chaotic to society. They are atrocious. Western society went over such things and got rid of them so long ago. The idea in the West was that if authoritarianism rules society and oppresses the people and doesn't let them freely live and express themselves, then society will find itself in a continuity of revolutions, of bloodshed again and again. And here you are with your ideas, advocating for exactly that. According to your logic, we should be advocating for your removal and execution because you are detrimental to our society. Yet you are also some guy who frequently accuses people of being Islamophobic, which is very funny. Islamophobic. Do you really think that people will accept that they're just being Islamophobic after you tell them that people should be executed for no longer believing in Islam? No, you are giving people a very good reason to be Islamophobic and to justify Islamophobia, to define it as something just. Because no one wants to hear this. No one wants to tolerate this. Dawah made this video in response to Saleh, who made a video in response to me. What happened is that I initially called out to Saleh and told him, hey, you don't understand Islam. You don't know what Islam teaches. You don't know what Dawah believes in. But you come together with Dawah. Unfortunately, I was naive enough and dumb enough to sit down and to speak a little bit maturely and intelligently to Adam Saleh, who I don't know what I was expecting. I didn't think that Adam Saleh, who is basically a pop figure who has no idea about Islam, would also think that it is okay to execute apostates, however, which is why I called out to him. Yet in his video response, he basically brushed that off and said, hey, all Muslims are the same, implying that he finds it okay that apostates should be executed.
Oh my God, look, there's such bad people. Look, Mohammed, Hijab, Ali, Dawah, and Dawah, man, they do believe in such. Every Muslim is the same thing, brother. You're the one that's making it seem like it's crazy. Like, obviously, in the olden days, it's much, much different than what it is now. So just have that as an open mind.
Ali Dawah made a reaction video to all of that and explained, as I just showed you, how apostasy laws are completely good and justified. And funnily enough, Adam Saleh, who has nearly 5 million subscribers and who makes pranks and seriously talks about how people are Islamophobic and prejudiced about Islam, commented under Ali Dawah's video in which Ali Dawah advocates for my execution in an ideal society with Allahu Akbar, in a glorification of Ali Dawah's words. In the same video, Adam Saleh's friend, Slim Al-Bahir, also says he's a phony bro. I know the intellect is very low, I don't expect very much here. And Mohammed Hijab is here, of course. He says, this apis apostate makes me sick. Great to see the team humiliate this creature. Repeating his, as always, dehumanizing language, right after he ran from a debate with me because he was too cowardly to actually have an online debate with me and discuss whether Islam is the truth or not. And I will come to him too. So here we have Muslim apologists and popular Muslims sitting together advocating for apostasy laws. Mohammed Hijab and Ali Dawah believe that an Islamic society, an Islamic system, an Islamic government is an ideal government. They are against individual freedom, as you have heard, and they are against liberalism and democracy and the system that we have. They would rather want to live in an Islamic system. If the UK had enough support and enough people to establish an Islamic government, Ali Dawah and Mohammed Hijab would want to establish an Islamic government. And then, in this new UK that Ali Dawah and Mohammed Hijab advocate for and believe in, people like me and other many apostates who are in the UK would be executed for spreading corruption in society. And I really want to ask, who is okay with this? If I went to the UK and said something similar about Muslims, my life would be over. I would have committed social suicide. I would have trouble with the police, with the law. I wouldn't be able to properly work anywhere anymore. Services would be rejected. My channel, my YouTube channel would be shut down. My Twitter account would be shut down. I would be gone. I would be over. Yet these people can say these things and hide behind the excuse that this is just their religious freedom, and they get away with that? How could it be that Western society, that online platforms, that our societies are a safe space where people can call for the execution of groups of people or of individuals for their beliefs? It can't be. The West cannot be, can never be a safe space where you can just say these people and those people and those people should be killed because their ideas are dangerous. I advocate for a free society where we can educate each other and talk to each other and freely express our opinions without infringing upon the rights of others, without wanting to execute others, without inciting violence, which is not protected under the laws of the UK. Your ideas are actually detrimental to society because you really want to execute, you really want to kill and oppress people simply for their ideas. Because you believe they are detrimental to society. Because you think they destroy some people's afterlives, which is some bullshit that is in no way relevant. Make no mistake, Ali Dawah, Mohammed Hijab, and people who think this way are not very different from the Islamic terrorists that they try to distance themselves from. What is different is that these Islamic terrorists want to go a quicker and harsher way and actually fight directly right now, including fight against civilians, fight against society. The end goal is that they establish an Islamic state where they exercise full Islamic law. What people like these people believe in is that we should simply not fight right now, not fight against society, but in the end, through different means, get to the same solution and establish an Islamic society where we exercise Islamic law and execute people for their opinions and beliefs. This is, by definition, extremism, which is problematic and criminal in the UK. And this borders on terrorism, which by definition involves using violence and intimidation in order to reach your political goals. This justification of violence and this indirect incitement to violence borders on that. Now you can say, oh, I didn't say anybody should just go and kill him. I just said, ideally, in an Islamic system, which I believe in, this should happen. But what you're doing is that you are advocating for an authoritarian system that should replace the government and system of the country that you live in. You're advocating for complete authoritarianism, and you're telling so many other people who listen to you in your big audience that it is justified that I should no longer live because I cause corruption and I am a danger to society, to their afterlives. This is incitement to violence, a justification of violence. This is extremism and should be dealt with. Wake up, people. The justification is also very ridiculous. Ali Dawah thinks I should be executed, which makes sense because obviously I'm so hostile against Islam, and that they should be allowed to insult me and to harass me because I criticize and ridicule and insult Islam. But the logic is failing here. What is happening here is not that I am attacking Islam, which is why I should be attacked and criticized and killed. What happens here is that Islam originally insults me, calls me less than cattle, calls me the worst of creatures, and advocates for my killing. Then I get outraged and attack Islam and insult Islam, and then you come again and say, whoa, how dare you disrespect my religion? Well, how dare I? Of course I will, you idiots. You complete savages, you morons. Your mind is so sick, so corrupted by these barbaric, disgusting ideas that you cannot even put proper logic together. That you willfully defy common sense in order to justify abhorrent atrocities against society. Because your ideas hold no weight, because nobody is impressed by your beliefs and by your ideas, you resort to stuff like this. These people are Dawah people. They are supposed to invite people to Islam and make people love Islam. They are doing the opposite. Obviously, because this is not working, they are now resorting to speaking their true language instead of lying to you. Make no mistake, when they don't publicly say these things and smile into your faces, they are lying to you. I'm speaking of people like Ali Dawah and Mohammed Hijab specifically, and those people who work together with them, who collaborate with them, who think like them, who think that apostates like me are traitors and Uncle Toms, that we are slaves to our post-colonial masters, which means the white man, and that we together should be fought by them. If you think like that, if you really advocate for this, why don't you go to a country where such bullshit is exercised and try to live there in that shithole? You have no place here in the society. And some of you are really so smart that you think, I am playing a victim here. I'm not playing a victim. I'm advocating for everybody to be harsh on you and to crack down on such disgusting ideas. If you dehumanize me and others like me, and if you believe that I don't have a right to live and to speak, then I will also call society to be harsh on you, to call the law on you, which, by the way, is simultaneously happening as we speak. The time should be over for you to feel comfortable and to say such disgusting things. But, hey, at the end of everything, there is something funny to this. Something very telling about Islam and what a weak ideology it is that these people follow and possess. Imagine that. Ali Dawah and people like him think that in an ideal world, in their ideal belief system, I should be executed because I cause corruption in society by disbelieving and by spreading my disbelief to others, by talking about why I don't believe, by making people go astray and making society immoral, by destroying the afterlives of society. And if I am not stopped, then society will go astray. If Islam doesn't put an end to people like me, to apostates, to dissenters, then how can Islam stay strong and alive? Are you people aware what that means for your pathetic ideology? What that means is that your religion is so weak, so insecure, so pathetic, that your ideology is so weak, so unreliable, that you don't trust it to actually convince people and to impress people and lead them to the right way. Maybe you see that in yourselves because you have been doing this whole Dawah thing for decades now and nothing is happening. People still don't like Islam and never will because of the way that Islam is and the way you act. If your belief system really depends on such atrocities against society because people could be led astray simply by people like me who go out there and who speak, then this really shows how concerned you are and how weak your beliefs are. And you know what? It makes me so happy. And I call on every apostate out there, on everybody who has left Islam, on everybody who has doubts, to come out and to speak. Defy the norms, defy everything. Come out and speak your opinion. Tell the world about freedom. Tell us why you don't believe in Islam. Be proud about your skepticism. Be proud about not believing in this horrible belief system. What this shows is that Islam is scared of me. Islam is scared of you, apostates out there, every single one of you. They are afraid that you will corrupt people and you will make people immoral. You will make people go astray. You will weaken Islam, which is why they want you to be executed in an ideal society. This and nothing else is what that means. Be proud of that. Please join me in speaking out. Speak out for human rights, for freedom, for your freedom to think, for your freedom to live and to breathe. Don't let your intelligence be insulted by such a dumb belief. And you, Ali Dawah, Mohammed Hijab, you Muslim apologists who are so concerned, you are the weaklings here. You have nothing to hold on to. You should be ashamed of yourselves. See how your religion is crumbling, how people are leaving your religion because of how awful it is. Be ashamed of yourselves and your pathetic religion, which is being abandoned and humiliated in front of the entire world, an enlightening world, an enlightened world that will be more and more enlightened, and you can do nothing about it. Deal with that. Oh, and thanks for making my point. Thanks for demonstrating to the entire world why we are doing what we are doing. And thanks for making more ex-Muslims. Thank you so much. Genuinely, thank you everybody else for listening. And loudly and proudly, stay away from Islam.